The new system and radios, referred to as CCDP25, replaces aging equipment, brings all radio users in Denver into one system, and uses digital technology for better operations with neighboring systems. In this section, we will discuss the talk groups that are programmed into your radio. A zone is a collection of up to 16 talk groups. For the most part, the talk groups you had in your previous radio are in your new radio. However, they may be in different zone talk group locations. Use the methods we will discuss to change zones and talk groups of your radio's programming. Now joining me to help demonstrate the radio functions is Officer Hammock. Welcome.
It's good to be here.
The most important buttons on your radio are the push-to-talk or PTT buttons. There is one on the radio and one on the speaker mic. The top side button, just above the radio's PTT, is purple and has two functions. Press it quickly and it will light up the radio's top and main displays. Give it a long press and it will flip the orientation of the top display in case the radio is placed in a different direction in your radio holder. On the top of the radio is the large knob used to turn the radio on and off and to set the radio's volume. The speaker mic also has a toggle control for volume that can be used to slightly reduce the radio's volume when you are inside or in an area that requires lower volume. On the top of the radio is what is referred to as the concentric switch. It sits around the 16-position rotary knob. When it is under the symbol of an open circle, the radio will be allowed to scan other talk groups. When it is under the circle with a slash, scan is disabled. We'll cover the emergency buttons which exist on the radio and the speaker mic in the next section of this video. Many radio functions can be controlled through the on-screen menu. Items in the menu are displayed in groups of 3 along the bottom edge of the main display. A menu item can be selected by pressing the menu button directly below it. You can select different groups of 3 menu items by pressing the right or left arrow on the 4-way navigation button. Depending on the menu item you select, you will see different prompts or lists on the main display. There are a number of menu items programmed into your radio, but we'll review a few of the most important. Zone up, zone down, and zone. These will be discussed in just a moment. Mute. Select this to silence or restore the voice enunciations. Scan list. This allows you to build a list of talk groups you wish to scan. Profile. Choose this to enter or exit a surveillance mode that darkens all the radio's lights and lowers the radio's volumes. Zone program. This item allows a user to build their own zone of 16 talk groups or channels. Recent. Selecting this brings up a list of calls the radio has recently received and allows you to replay or even save them. Next, let's discuss the selection of zones and talk groups. There are 3 main ways to select a zone. The first is the ABC switch on the top of your radio. Selecting A will select the first zone of talk groups, B, the second, and C, the third. The second way of selecting a zone is to use the menu and to press either zone up or zone down. That will take you to the next or previous zone. The third way is to use the menu and select zone. This will bring up a list of all the zones in the radio, and you can use the up and down keys on the 4-way navigation button to select the desired zone. Press the Cell menu button when you have highlighted the desired zone. Once you have selected the desired zone through any of these ways, use the 16-position rotary knob to select the talk group you wish to use. Notice that the radio is equipped with voice enunciation, so that you hear an announcement of the name of the talk group you select.
Front Range Task Force 1.
To turn this feature off and on, use the Mute menu item. There are a couple of shortcuts that can be used to select a zone and a talk group. Pressing the button with the home icon on it will take you to the first talk group in your primary zone. The use of the emergency button on the new radios has many similarities to its counterparts on older radios, but there is one important difference that we'll cover momentarily. To signal an emergency on your talk group, press and hold the orange button for 3 seconds, either on the speaker mic or on the top of the radio. When you do this, the radio will send an emergency message to other radios on the same talk group and to dispatch, and it will start a 10-second automatic hot mic transmission. After you press the emergency button, it is important that you do not turn your radio off or change talk groups until you've ended the emergency. All of this is generally the same as your current radios. The difference with the new radios is that the only person that can end the emergency is the user that initiated it. The dispatcher can no longer end the emergency. This change is for officer safety. To end the emergency, press and hold the orange button again until you hear a short tone. The new radios and the new radio system use digital signaling. Your voice is picked up by the microphone, sampled, digitized, and sent over the air, where the process is reversed by the receiver and speaker. Digital voices sound different than analog voices. While digital often sounds clearer than analog, it may also sound slightly tinnier.
Impact 12 to radio.
It may take a few weeks before you recognize other officers' digital voices, but your ear will adjust. The way you hold and use your radio's microphone is critical to producing good audio quality. If you don't hold the radio close to your mouth or direct your speech into it, other officers and dispatchers may not be able to understand you. Also, the radio and the speaker mic have noise-canceling electronics. They expect your voice to come from one direction and for external noise, like sirens, traffic, machinery, to come from another direction. All of this means that you have to talk clearly and directly into the microphone at a normal volume. Hold it 2 to 3 inches from your mouth, or if your speaker mic is on your shoulder, turn your head toward it. Do not turn away from the microphone or hold it at arm's length from you. Do not whisper and do not shout. Also, do not grip the speaker mic in such a way that you cover the entire front of the unit. Hold it so your hand cups the edge while you press the key up button. Finally, if you are in an area of high noise, hold the radio or the microphone so that your voice comes from a direction that is opposite of the noise. We want to do all we can to make this a smooth transition to the new radio system.